Hi, everybody. When I joined the Dodgers, Rich Kee was the official staff photographer. Brilliant record, and he was entrusted with being able to photograph and preserve great moments in Dodger history. And in the last couple of months, we've been privileged to show some of those photos. Rich, wonderful to have you aboard for this presentation.
Well, Ross, thank you very much. And I always appreciate time spent with Ross Porter.
Rich, let's take a look at this photo.
It was May of 1977. We were on a road trip in Philadelphia, and I decided I wanted a different angle from the traditional photo wells. And that turned out to be my desire to photograph from the Dodger dugout. I received permission from the Philly front office. And being naive and young, I didn't realize that they could not give that to me. That solely lies in the decision by the umpires. Well, I envisioned a picture of a ball player entering the dugout in excitement and being congratulated. That was my goal. And about the third inning, Dusty Baker provided it for me, and I knew that I had the image I had sought. I then walked back down the end of the dugout and stood next to Tommy. And at that point, Ed Vargo, the home umpire, pointed in my direction, motioning for me to move and leave. I knew what he meant, but Tommy didn't. And Tommy said to me, "Who's he pointing to? What's wrong?" And I said to him, "He wants me to leave." But here's where I made my mistake. I said to Tommy, "I have permission from the Phillies." Well, at that point, Tommy didn't want to have somebody tell him what to do. So he yelled back to Ed Vargo, "Leave the kid alone. He's with us." Well, as you can imagine, the veteran umpire did not appreciate that. The mask came off. He walked towards Tommy. Tommy left the dugout to meet him to exchange some pleasantries, obviously Lasorda style. And for me, I ran up the tunnel and I hid halfway up the tunnel because I knew I was in trouble. Our bench coach, Monty Basco, was standing there giving me blow-by-blow descriptions as he was in between his belly laughs. And he says, "Rich, you're in trouble." And I'm thinking, oh no, I've lost my job. As it turns out, he says, "Rich, you're in real trouble. You've just been kicked out of the game." I was bewildered. I go, how in the world can a photographer get kicked out of a game? Well, as it turns out, he was right. Tommy came back in the dugout, gave me all kinds of grief for causing all this chaos. I wound up, I was restricted to the clubhouse for the rest of the night, but I got the shot. And it's one of my signature favorite images. And that's what you take and what you have to go through to get the shot sometimes. And I kept my job.
Rich, that's wonderful. Coming up, we'll see more of Rich's photos, and he has a new book coming out, don't you?
Actually, I do. It's called The Dodger Connection. It'll be on Amazon soon. So I appreciate it. And I also enjoy sharing photos with you, Ross, because we've got that shared moment that we can revisit from all those years back.